Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be making Captain Spaulding with polymer clay. And Captain Spaulding is of course from the Firefly trilogy of films from Rob Zombie and played by the incredible Sid Haig. And I believe this was a subscriber request at one point. I'm not entirely sure though, I should really write down these things, shouldn't I? But if that was the case and you were the person that mentioned him, thank you for that. I have made Captain Spaulding before, but that was years ago, so I can't find the poster on my system for some reason, so it's a shame I can't compare the two. But it will be really interesting to see how he works out today because, you know, my style's evolved somewhat over the years, so yeah, it's another clown. So if you happen to have coulrophobia or a fear of clowns, this might not be the one for you. It's weird actually, I used to be really scared of clowns for years actually, and it's kind of interesting that I've made a fair few now with polymer clay, and I think it's actually helped at some level. It's really helped me to think about them in terms of form, really, to try and emulate in my own style. So yeah, weirdly it's kind of helped out. So Captain Spaulding is quite a sort of gothic clown, as you'll probably see as time goes on, and he's quite grubby looking as well, so I'll need to ensure that that comes through in the final piece. So yeah, just finishing off his head here. And as with my video for last week, in which I made Shaun of the Dead, one of my neighbours is having some building work done at the moment, which when combined with the traffic noise that I often have on my channel, it's yeah, a bit of a challenge today, so I'm finding myself having to narrate around some background noise, so if it sounds a bit stilted at times, then yeah, that's the reason why. So I've noticed actually that some of my narration is a little stilted here and there on some of my previous videos when I've, you know, just been looking back at them, and that seems to be a common thing really, so that explains any kind of stilted stuff going on with my narration really. But anyway, back to the model. So I'm just going to start on the base of Captain Spaulding here, and I'm just going to keep it basic whites, really, as it contrasts well with the red, white and blue theme of his outfits. So I just need to start on his rather red clown shoes here. So this is a model that I've been wanting to remake for a little while now actually, because he's such a sort of big character really, and Sid Haig was an incredible actor. He died last year unfortunately. I did meet Sid Haig some years ago now at one of these, you know, movie memorabilia events, and oh gosh, he seemed like such a thoroughly nice guy. A complete opposite to his role as Captain Spaulding, and I believe I had a photo done with him, but I don't know what happened to that. It was really quite some time ago now, but yeah, it was lovely meeting him. And I also met David Norton at the time, who of course is in An American Werewolf in London, which is one of my favourite ever films actually. I really love it, so yeah, that was a treat. They're always worth going to, these kinds of events really, I think, as you never know who you'll see or what you'll find, so yeah, thoroughly worthwhile. So now I'm moving on to Captain Spaulding's little ruffles on his clown trousers here. So this is my first video in October, so it definitely feels more Halloweeny now, doesn't it? The weather's changed, it's a lot colder, the nights are drawing in. So it's distinctly more Halloween-like, isn't it? So as every year, well, certainly the last few years anyway, I'll be doing a Halloween countdown on Twitter and on Instagram. So I'll be sharing my movie posters, and yeah, they often get a good reception really. So I'll be sharing some old ones and some new ones. So if you're interested, come follow me at Disarray on either. I am on Facebook as well, and I never ever promote it really because I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. I don't have a personal account or anything like that. I just sign in and update my page every now and again, but yeah, it's just really links to my YouTube stuff on Facebook. So yeah, that's why I don't promote it, if you're wondering. And I've also got a Pinterest page as well, so that's again Clay Disarray. I'm Clay Disarray on everything basically. If I'm on it, that's where I'll be. So now I just need to attach Captain Spaulding's body to his legs, so I'll just pop him on like so. And I'll just start paring away at his torso, just to make it a little neater really. While I think about it, I've had a fair few inquiries over recent weeks about custom orders, and to be honest, I've not offered custom orders for years now, really because they take up so much time, and when you factor in costs for researching and you know, particularly for faces or people that you're not particularly familiar with, it can take an unbelievable amount of time to create a likeness or a model. So yeah, you know, they just work out really super expensive things, and they're really quite stressful as well. So I just don't take custom orders, unfortunately. And also with the health condition that I have some eye problems as a result of that as well. So I much prefer working on likenesses or on people that I'm familiar with, so that's why I just don't take custom orders. So sorry to disappoint if you've been hoping for a Clay Disarray model, but most of the models that I make on my YouTube channel end up over at my Etsy store, so by all means go and take a look. And again, it's Clay Disarray. The models there are really offered at say discounted rates when you consider the time and efforts and production costs that have gone into them. So yeah, they're a bit of a bargain, I'd say. So by all means go and take a look if you'd be interested in a Clay Disarray model at any point. If you're new to my channel, my name's Lizzie and I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator, and I make weekly videos, lately anyway, about my polymer clay sculptures, and I've also got some tutorials and blogs and artist advice videos in the mix as well. So if you like what you see, by all means hit that subscribe button and remember to hit the bell for notifications as well. So because I don't want the model to end up too tall, because you know I have to bake it in the oven and it has to fit, I need to make a hat for Captain Spaulding. So what I'm planning to do is just to make it separately from the model itself really, instead of popping it on the top and baking it. I'll be baking it separately, and I'm going to pop a hole through the middle of the hat really, just so that it attaches to the wire that I've got coming out of Captain Spaulding's head. So I'm just creating a series of stripes to go around the hats. It's a little fiddly, but as I've mentioned before, I think this can look sort of quite impressive if it's done neatly enough, really. And I'll just pop around a band of blue at the bottom. And Captain Spaulding has some stars on his blue stripe, but because it's so tiny, I'm not going to bother with those because it runs the risk of looking untidy, really, because they're so tiny. So, you know, I think it'll be fine without them. So I'll just pop a little piece of red on the top just to neaten things off. And I'm pretty pleased with how this has worked out, actually. So now I need to bake Captain Spaulding and his hats for the final time. And now they're baked and cooled, I'm going to add on some grey ink to his t-shirt because, as I mentioned earlier, he's quite the grubby clown, so that will add to the overall aesthetic quite well. And I've just drawn on some eyebrows as well with some black ink, away from the camera unfortunately because it's yeah, too fiddly a job really. And here he is, all done, and he's worked out really well, and it's nice to try a new technique with making the hat separately, and I've just glued it on with some epoxy glue, so nice and simple. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week with another Halloween themed video, so take care out there, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.